Hey everyone, welcome to The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gabby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows they star in.
This episode is a little bit different because we're going to be combining about 2 weeks worth of Bravo content. And the reason for that is because Michael traveled from Michigan to California, which is about 2 hours away from me in Orange County. So we got to meet up for the first time in person, which was super amazing. And that's why we're a little bit behind on some of our filming. So it's definitely for a very good reason.
Yeah, we had so much fun. We talked about lots of Bravo. We recreated a couple iconic scenes on TikTok and we hung by the pool and had dinner. So we had a really good time. So hope to do that again soon.
Yeah, it was such a blast, and we definitely were like more inspired to like keep making more fun TikToks and just more fun content for our podcast, including more fun guests that we're gonna bring on.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have New York premiering this week and Beverly Hills premiering in a couple weeks. So we're super excited for that as well.
Yeah, a lot of good Bravo content to come that we like can't wait to dish about. And so it was just really fun to get to talk about all of these Bravo topics in person finally. It
Mhm.
just was long overdue.
Yeah, and we were watching lots of fun clips and scenes and jamming to some songs. So
Yes,
it was a lot
Expensive
of
by
fun.
Erica Jane and Tardy
Yeah.
for the Party were definitely
Mhm.
being played.
And waking up in the morning.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
good. Um, so now that you are caught up on that, we wanted to get into some of the most recent Bravo news. And our most recent Vanderpump baby has arrived. Scheana and her partner Brock have welcomed their daughter, Summer Moon Honey Davies.
Yeah, I like the name Summer. I don't know if it's two middle names or how that works, but I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think I think Summer is a super cute name. It's just kind of a long name like Summer, Moon, Honey. But overall, it's a cute name. And I was wondering, who is your favorite name of the Vanderpump babies?
I think I do like Summer the best actually. Cruise is overdone. I don't really like the name Ocean. I don't mind Hartford, but I would go with Summer. How about you?
Yeah, I think I would have to agree. Like, if I was given those four names for naming my son or daughter, I probably would go with Summer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
and then
for
followed
sure.
by Hartford. Ocean and Cruise are kind of
Yeah. And Cruz is the only boy, and of course it has to be Jax's kid, but of course he has to have a boy, like
I know, right?
uh,
And also piggybacking on Vanderpump Rules is that we've learned that season 9 has been given the green light, and we're going to be getting that. And the premiere date is still TBD. But what are our thoughts? Are you excited we're getting a season 9, or should we just have left sleeping dogs where they lie?
well, I did see a teaser that says it's gonna be premiering in the fall. So I
Oh,
don't know
I didn't even see that.
what that means. Maybe October, November. They also posted these two like scenes, but it's weird because they're starting to film the first week of May, but they posted these weird like teaser clips and it was like Lala and Scheana talking about their pregnancy and how Rand sleeps naked. I don't know. It was just weird how they would post those, but then they haven't started filming, but it felt like little teasers. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch and I'm sort of excited, but I think it's not really gonna be pump rules. I feel like it's gonna be more like them being parents because nobody really works there. We've gotten rid of like half the cast. I just think it's gonna have a very different vibe for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely in a transitional period, and I'm still gonna watch because I want to see my queen, Lisa Vanderpump. I
Mhm.
mean, she's the whole reason I even started watching. I kind of actively avoided Vanderpump Rules for a long time because it just seemed like a lot of cattiness, like, and bad behavior by servers, and I'm just was kind of like, oh, I've lived that. I don't really need to watch it on TV. I was a waitress
Yeah.
working with catty women before, so I kind of avoided it. But when LVP departed from Beverly Hills, I needed to fill the void in my heart, so I started watching Vanderpump Rules and admittedly enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah. That was one of the first Bravo shows I got into besides like Beverly Hills and
Oh
Atlanta.
wow.
So I've always really I think I started watching during like season 3. So I've been watching for like 6 or 7 years now. But I always really liked Stassi. So I don't know. I think it'll be weird without her and Kristen.
It will be. And admittedly, it will also be different without Jax. As much of like
Yeah.
as shitty of a human being as he is kind of entertaining sometimes. And I mean, sometimes he's completely unbearable, don't get me wrong, but there's also times that he does like genuinely make me laugh.
Yeah. Mostly unbearable for me, but
Yeah, mostly
that's
unbearable.
moments. But like nobody works at Sir, only like Raquel. So I don't really get that.
And speaking of Raquel, she was like releasing details about Scheana's baby before like Scheana even released the details.
Yeah.
She was like commenting to people on Instagram, like, it was a good delivery. The baby's name is Summer. And it was like, wait, we haven't heard this from Scheana yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure Scheana wanted to have her moment.
Yeah, and Scheana and Raquel aren't super close friends to my knowledge, unless like during the pandemic they became like BFFs. They're not like as close as her and Ariana to my knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think there's gonna be a clear divide. Like it's gonna be Scheana, Tom, Ariana,
Yeah,
and then the others, I feel like.
totally.
Seems like Lala and Sheena had some drama, and then they've been excluding Tom and Ariana. So I think it's gonna be them three on the outs.
I have been seeing the photos of Lala's baby. Speaking of Lala, since
Oh
you
yeah.
her baby is really, really cute.
Yeah, she is really cute. I just saw a picture of her recently as well.
Not to be rude to like pick a favorite, like cuteness wise out of the Vanderpump babies, but Lala's is the cutest so far.
Yeah,
I
well,
want
we
to
know
see,
that babies like Portia's baby wasn't that cute, and now she's really cute. So
yeah,
just give them some time.
yeah. PJ like has had a glow up for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Speaking
sure.
of cute babies on Atlanta, I sent Michael a photo of Shamia's daughter. Shamia's daughter, her cuteness is off the charts.
Yeah, she's really cute as well.
She's crazy cute. She's way cuter than Portia's daughter. Oh, sorry.
Well, getting into some more Bravo news, the Housewives All Stars, I think now just finished up filming in Turks and Caicos. So, do we have any predictions on any of the drama? Thoughts on the cast? Thoughts on some
So I'm
content you've seen this week?
So the one thing I have seen, I've been trying to avoid like massive spoilers, but it's kind of hard. We run a Bravo centric Instagram that goes with this podcast, so it's kind of hard to avoid Bravo news and spoilers. However, I did learn that there's like some tension between Ramona and Kenya, and to me that doesn't really feel like a huge spoiler. That just feels like a given because they're both
No, yeah.
pretty difficult people and they
That's the
need to.
drama. I think we all pretty much predicted that
Yeah,
drama.
we all saw that coming. No one was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so." No
Yeah.
one was like, "That's so shocking." Kenya and Ramona are butting heads, so that'll
Oh,
just be entertaining to watch it play out. My other prediction is that I think Teresa might get a little bit jealous with Melissa because I think Melissa is going to mesh really well with all the other women because I think Melissa Whether you like her or not, I think she has a pretty easygoing personality when she's hanging out with other women. And I've noticed other women just seem to enjoy spending time with her, at least on Jersey. So I think she'll get along pretty well with everyone on the trip. And I think Teresa will feel jealous of that because, as we've learned about Teresa, she's not as warm and fuzzy as Melissa. So she
Yeah.
might kind of feel on the outs only because of her own personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. I'm for sure guessing that Kyle and Melissa are going to be really good friends.
Well, you sent me that Instagram story of Kyle promoting Envy in her story.
Yeah.
She was wearing like pajamas, and that wasn't even the funniest part of that story to me. It was like there was a camera guy blatantly like behind her in the mirror as she's taking a selfie in these
Yeah.
pajamas from Melissa's
I
store.
know.
I was
That-
like, wow, we don't see that too often.
And I didn't really see like much with like Cynthia and Kenya, so I'm wondering how they're going to mesh as well. Because they're really good friends on their own. So I'm wondering if they're just going to do like their own thing or what.
Yeah, I do you think Luann is gonna like stick with Ramona, or do you think she's gonna like stay the hell away from Ramona?
I don't know. I wonder because like in like with their own cast, like Luann is like she could be with Ramona, she couldn't, but like I wonder because they're with people from other casts that they're gonna try to stick with their own cast because at least like they have like an ally going into it. So I don't know. I think it could go either way.
And Kyle's the only Beverly Hills housewife, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that makes me wonder if that's why she's kind of seeming like she's gravitating towards Melissa to be like her wing person or like her
Yeah.
go-to girl. Because Kyle, we've seen her behavior on Beverly. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but that's just like Kyle's ammo is she likes to have one girl to kind of like buddy up with all the time.
Yeah, like it was Teddy and
And before that, LVP, she likes to always be like buddy buddy with another girl and like always she's very like catty in that way of like she always has to be like tight with one girl. So I think
yeah,
Melissa is who she
yeah.
has chosen to be that person during All Stars, and I
And
think
then
that will
Teresa
make Teresa
as well.
jealous.
Yeah, or they could be a threesome, but yeah, Teresa will probably get jealous.
That's true, but
I
I
mean,
think
there was that
Kyle,
picture of them all wearing the same pajamas, so
I think Kyle and Melissa have more similar personalities though than
they
Kyle
do.
and Teresa and Melissa and Teresa. I
Yeah,
see like Kyle and Melissa like meshing really well together and just being like really compatible.
yeah. I wish that like Rena would have gone so that we would have another Beverly Hills.
I
But
know. It would have
my
been
hope for
so
All Stars is that they do it every year and they just like switch up the cast.
I hope so too. And everyone is wondering like, is this a one-time thing? Is this like
Yeah.
gonna be a series? And I hope this becomes a series. I have high expectations for this and I don't think I'm going to be let down.
No, I mean, even if there's not that much drama, I think it'll just be fun to watch all these women like interact because we see them interact with their own like cast, but it'll be interesting to see how they interact with people from other casts. So, I
And
mean, because there's so many housewives I'd love to see on like Sonia, Rinna, Portia, Giselle, Karen. Like, I
yeah,
feel like they could mix and match a cast every year.
and even like individually, obviously they're all very different, but geographically their personalities are also different because of that. Like Kyle's personality and her the way she speaks is going to be different from the way that someone in Atlanta speaks or somebody from Manhattan like Lou or
Yeah,
Sonia speaks. So it'll be fun to see how everybody meshes in that way.
yeah, exactly. So. I guess we'll just see how well it does, but I'll definitely be watching on Peacock, which I guess that's where it's going to be. So,
Well, I think we should also be able to watch it on Hey You
yeah, that's true too. So,
since we're already paying for that. I'm
yeah,
not
might
I
as well.
they've already like sunk their claws into me. I'm not giving up Hey You.
Oh no, I'm not either. So,
I'm too invested in the international housewives at this point.
oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, speaking of streaming services, HBO Max just put out the first 2 episodes of The Big Shot with Bethenny. I watched it. I don't know if Gabby has, but I just wanted to talk about it briefly.
I
Um,
still haven't yet. I've been kind of reading some of the reviews on Instagram and online to like get other people's viewpoints. Are you enjoying it?
well, I watched the first two. Already watched them, and I don't know when the other episodes are going to be out. I find Bethenny very off-putting in this. It's kind of like The Apprentice, like a little bit, where she's testing out these like business people and like gonna and ultimately like hire one of them to be her like chief operating officer or something. But I think Bethany's like comes off just really harsh and rude to the people, and like she's like, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not really liking the way she treats the competitors, and um, they got rid of like there was 10 people total, and there was like only 5 people after the first episode. So it's probably just going to be a really short thing, but I
Mini
think
series.
I think Bethany's trying to be like a strong businesswoman, but it's coming off like too harsh for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And she's had that problem before on Roni of being like overly harsh sometimes, like, and I love how assertive she is. Like, she is a boss ass bitch. I love
Yeah.
Bethenny in that aspect. She's problematic in other ways. I've learned more and more. However, I think like business wise, she knows what she's doing. But I find like her mannerisms when like talking to staff, like waiters and at places and some of her employees is really, really disrespectful. And it makes me lose respect for her because
Yeah.
I don't like seeing people who I respect. I don't care how much money you have, however high up you are in your life, you don't need to be speaking to people in such a disrespectful manner. So I've seen that from Bethenny on multiple occasions, and I just am liking her less and less because of it.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like she was giving the people like constructive criticism. I just thought she was just kind of being a bitch, like to be entertaining, kind of.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like being a guest on Shark Tank has gotten to her head that she can like just be a total ass to people about
Yeah,
business because she knows everything she was talking about because she's been on Shark Tank.
yeah, I wonder too, but I don't know. I'll watch it out, and I think Dorinda is gonna make a guest appearance. So
I still haven't seen it. I might just keep like listening to your takes on it.
yeah, I'll let you know. But I feel like we should get into. We're gonna cover the Atlanta finale and the first part of the reunion. Do you want to get into that now?
Yeah, definitely. So, like we mentioned before, we're going to be kind of consolidating some of the material this week. So, right now, we're going to talk about the finale and then we're going to dive right into the first part of the reunion.
Okay.
So, first of all, I just wanted to say that the name of this episode, How the Wig Stole Christmas, amazing. What a great title for an episode. I thought that was so clever.
Mhm. Yeah, I like that. I thought the gift exchange was pretty fun to watch, pretty interesting, especially because there was a $1,000 limit.
Oh
And
my gosh.
so there's
I
like
know.
a lot on the line, whereas like I've done those gift exchanges at work, but it's like White Elephant where it's like crappy stuff and it's fun. But there's actually like, okay, if you spend $1,000, you're gonna want to come out of that with a good present. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
if
yeah.
there was a lot on the line for that one.
Yeah, I also thought Portia was weirdly out of line for hating on the Tiffany's jewelry. Why was she like acting like she got this like horrible cheap jewelry when she got $1,000 worth of Tiffany's jewelry? What the hell was that about?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, Tiffany's is nice. So,
Yeah, she was like, "Who wants to trade? Who wants to trade?" I was like, "What's your problem?"
and of course, um, Portia, or of course, Kenya gives Portia and Drew like the first 2 numbers because she hates them. So she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give them the first 2.
And how amazing were those llamas that Cynthia had come to the house.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I've been to a party, a Christmas party like in 2019, and they had like reindeers out front.
Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. That's amazing. And those llamas were so cute with like decked out in their Christmas sweaters and
Uh-huh.
everything.
And then they had like the carolers at the end, even though the girls were like fighting, and they're like, okay, we're over this.
I know that was funny.
I thought that Cynthia like put in effort, so
She always does.
yeah, even if it's kind of like cheesy, it's still like she at least tries. Whereas like Fallon's Halloween party was so lame.
Yeah, I agree. And another person I wanted to touch on was Drew, and the like scene with her son and his biological father was like, it was so cringeworthy. It was so,
Yeah, and Kenya, I think, said something to Drew at the reunion about it because like all of the scenes with her son just felt like she was forcing him, and he just didn't really seem very comfortable at all. So I don't know, it felt weird.
yeah,
Because
it
some kids
completely,
seem like they thrive on the camera, like Olivia Aiden, but not him.
yeah, like some of the kids love being on Housewives. Like Jackie Goldschneider has said that her kids don't like when she films if they're not around. Like
Yeah,
some of them love it. And that's cool. Josiah is not one of those kids. And I really don't like how she makes him talk about these really, really sensitive situations on national television with, and on top of that, there's like 3 or 4 like grown adults in the room holding cameras as they're talking
yeah.
about these things. Like a
About
child
his
can't
dad
ignore
that
that.
he doesn't even know, and now he's supposed to like have an opinion on it, and I don't know. It's just
Yeah, it's very unsettling to me, and I just like, I'm sure Drew's doing it to like to be a good mom and hopefully to inspire other mothers. I'm sure she's only doing it with good intent, but I hope she watches it back and sees like her son is wildly uncomfortable on camera talking about this.
yeah, I hope so too. And I know like Kenya said something to her at the reunion, and she said that he was like okay with it, but I just yeah, hopefully she rewatches it.
Yeah, and it's just like these are great issues to talk to your son about. Keep the cameras off when you're doing it.
Yeah. Get a different storyline.
Yeah, like let's focus on Ralph like and what he was doing in Tampa.
Yeah, which we learned a little bit about on the reunion. She said that what she got his Apple Watch and saw him like walking around and stuff, but I don't know. I think it's sketchy still.
Wasn't yeah,
I guess
wasn't
they
the
worked
best
through
review.
it. I love that Kenya got stuck with Drew's present because she hates Drew. And Drew's present was bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I thought it was so ironic that Kenya ended up with Drew. It was like it was a Christmas miracle in April.
Yeah, that was funny. It was like a wig and like a cat carrier thing. Like
So at the beginning of this season, Kenya compared Drew's wig to a cat, and I still think this was one of the funniest moments of the season when Kenya went up to Cynthia and was like, Drew has like a pet cat. And Cynthia was like, what's wrong with having a pet cat? And she wasn't talking about an actual pet. Obviously, she was talking about her wig. And as
uh-huh.
shady as that was of Kenya, it was really funny. And I just think the whole wig drama, it's clearly it started from the beginning of this season all the way to the finale.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just not that deep of drama to
I
have like
know.
taken over a whole season. But yes, we are in the world of COVID while filming this, but still like a wig shouldn't get a whole season long storyline.
I just feel like the drama was kind of stale this season. Like at least there was Bolo, which kind of got old. The wig stuff, Drew and Latoya, the Prophet. Like none of it really interested me. The Bolo stuff for a little bit, but not to like carry the whole season.
Yeah, Yeah,
So
I
I don't know.
agree. A lot of the drama was like only worth an episode or two. It wasn't like
Yeah,
enough for a whole season, but that's like unfortunately I think what comes with filming during COVID is like just restrictions on things.
yeah,
And that's not something we like in the housewives. We don't like our housewives to be restricted. We like here
exactly.
for the lavish lifestyle, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I also at the finale I loved when Kenya and Latoya left and they stole Drew's Voov. I thought that was hilarious.
I know.
Because honestly, Drew didn't deserve that after her present. So
I know that was so iconic, them stealing the Voov. I
yeah,
mean, can you blame them?
no, because honestly, Drew did not deserve that for like her present.
Hell no.
So and I thought like the whole again, Drew was just making way too big a deal about the profit. Um it was just like annoying. So
Yeah, the profit drama is all very sus to me. Like, who is telling the truth in this? I don't really know who to believe, to be honest. Like, I feel like somebody is telling slivers of the truth, you know? Like, I feel like Latoya is only telling some parts of it. I think Drew is kind of misguided and where she is accusing people, you know?
yeah,
So
I
I hope
agree.
we get some more clarity during the reunion.
Yeah, I guess I just don't really care that much. Like I think it's fine if Latoya like I feel like what's annoying me more is the way that Drew's reacting to it and like treating Latoya over it. So
Yeah, having to like cancel her entire event because of Latoya when she could have just hired somebody else in place
yeah,
of the prophet. It
exactly.
felt very like over the top and not in a fun way.
Exactly. So
Um,
um
and
and
speaking of Drew being over the top in not a good way, do we think she's going to be asked back for next season?
I think she'll be back. I feel like Bravo's like really trying to like force her on us in a way. And I do think she should get another season. Am I like obsessed with her? No. Do I don't dislike her though. So
Is,
I'm fine with
is
her
she a
getting
Teddy
out.
Mellencamp? No.
No, yeah. But she's not like a favorite. She's not like a Leah for me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I won't be mad if she stays, but I also like, I'm not gonna be super sad if she goes.
Yeah. And we know there's going to be a cast shakeup. Do you have any predictions on next season? Because I did see that Candy said like she wasn't sure if she would be back or not. And I'm wondering if that means they're going to bring Phaedra back.
I don't want Phaedra to come back personally. I think she is a terrible person. I really don't think she has any morals. I'd be sad if Candy left,
Yeah,
and I highly doubt this would ever happen. But I think Claudia Jordan should get the second season that she always deserved.
she should have her Lydia come back.
Yeah, she totally should, and she deserves it way more than Lydia.
Oh my God. Bringing
Uh,
back Lydia was such a bad choice.
I know who at the Bravo table said bringing back Lydia is going to be a great choice.
Yeah, they probably got fired.
I know, right? Same with the people who thought Vicky should stay on the show for as long as she did on OC.
But anyway, not to get into OC. For Atlanta, I think that for sure, like Kenya, Portia will be back. I'm hoping that Sheree and I want Phaedra back. I would like Sheree and Phaedra to come back. And then like probably Drew, maybe Marlo. I mean, Marlo at least part time. And I think that Cynthia should be at least demoted. I'd love Candy back, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would love to see Candy back as well. She's like pretty much an Atlanta staple, so would
Yeah,
be
she's been on
very,
since
very
season 2.
sad to see her go.
Well, let's get into the reunion. Do you want to talk about our favorite and least favorite outfits?
Yeah, let's talk about the style first. So, my favorite dress was Portia's. I thought it looked very similar though to what she wore at Cynthia's wedding, but nonetheless, I thought it was like still extremely gorgeous. My only critique would be that I wish she had her like really long dark hair with it. I prefer
Mhm.
Portia with long hair over her short hair.
Yeah, I my favorites were Kenya and Portia, although I don't think like the silhouettes were like anything groundbreaking. I just thought they both looked really, really great.
Yeah, I would have chosen Kenya's, except I thought the feathers on her shoulder were a bit much. Like it was
Mhm.
like up in her face almost. I thought
Yeah,
other than that, the dress was like really, really flattering on her. I
yeah,
just feathers for me are not a personal favorite.
yeah. They can look a little tacky.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I thought that it was just a little too much on her shoulder.
Yeah. And then for our least favorites,
I really did not like Candy's outfit. I did love like how her hair gave me like the Betty Page vibes. However, I
Mhm.
thought the outfit was like really, really tight on her and like just it wasn't super flattering. And it also was an homage to a really dark time in Atlanta, the dungeon theme. It like literally is what got Phaedra fired. And it's like nice we can like laugh about it, but also like to be dressed up in a dungeon theme. I kind of was
I
like, it doesn't really feel like it fits with a reunion.
I felt like it did fit with the season because she was like our dominatrix, like leader of like Cynthia's
That's true.
bachelorette party and the bolo stuff. I really liked that vibe of it and like that connection. I felt like the idea was there, but the execution wasn't, is what I'll say. But I want to give her points for like the theme. So that's
Yeah,
why it's
I
not
thought
my
she
least
did a
favorite.
great job as like bachelorette host. I
Yeah.
just thought like the dungeon theme didn't really fit in a
Yeah.
reunion.
I just thought like it didn't look good on her. I don't know.
I didn't
But I
either.
give her points for like the idea. My
Totally.
least favorite was Marlo just because I just thought it was really unflattering. Like the top, it looked cheap and then it didn't make her body look good. I thought Marlo's was the worst and usually she looks great. So
Yeah, usually her style is super on point. She's super fashionable and dresses really well. And I was just surprised that she fell short at the reunion of all places.
yeah.
Like that's where every housewife for the most part really brings it,
Yeah, for sure.
not including Denise Richards season 9 reunion with that
Yeah,
hideous brown dress, but
that
whatever.
was bad.
It
But
was so ugly.
I liked on this reunion how because we've been talking so much about Brooklyn not being shown that even Kenya admitted that Brooklyn not being on the show was because of Mark's ego.
Yeah, I mean, that was super obvious, so I'm glad she, like, actually admitted it instead of
Yeah,
avoiding the question,
yeah,
because she does that, remember? I believe it was, like, super early, this season, but the one of the producers in a confessional asked her about Mark's relationship with his other children, and she's like, "I'm not gonna talk about that." It was like, why is that a secret? That clearly indicates that something really like bad is going on if you can't even comment on his relationship with his like children from his previous relationship.
yeah. I feel like that relationship always had red flags,
So
but
many red flags. And he just seems toxic AF.
yeah, but all of Kenya's men have been that way, so
I
sad.
know it sucked now, especially rewatching that her and Matt during season 8, they started off really well. Like he seemed like a really sweet guy that was really into her. And then he just turned into a psycho.
Yeah, that stuff was really scary. I remember, and then
Yeah, like breaking in her hotel room door and stuff. Like it's crazy how he went from being such a nice guy from our point of view
mhm.
to going to such extremes to torture Kenya in their relationship. It's just so horrible.
Yeah, she does not have good taste in men.
She really doesn't. And I know she's no walk in the park. I know she's kind of a difficult person. I blame her mother for that. You can't have your
Oh,
mother ignore you your entire life and be like completely normal from after that.
I think she even admits that, honestly.
Yeah, so I know Kenya is not right. She's very, very difficult sometimes. However, I cut her slack because of what she's been through with her
Yeah,
mother.
he's damaged for sure. But
Oh yeah.
so we also addressed Kenya's Halloween costume, and I don't know how much I buy Kenya's response. Like, I thought it was a well, I don't know what I'm trying to say, a well like put together response, but I feel like it's like a little bit too late. Like, how did you
Yeah.
not know?
Like she's 50 years old, or if like at the time of this reunion she was 49, can't remember when her birthday is. She should know
Yeah,
better. Like she
February.
shouldn't have to like have public outcry and like frustration with her decisions for her to know she did something wrong.
Yeah.
Because
And I
had no one
also,
said anything, oh, go ahead.
you go ahead.
Had no one said anything about her costume, she wouldn't be apologizing.
Yeah, exactly. And I also liked what Portia said. She's like, okay, your apology, whatever. But if this was any of us that wore that, you would have been tearing us down so hard. And that is the truth. Like, she was tearing Portia down because of her protesting. So imagine if Portia had that costume on, Kenya would have dragged her for that.
Yeah, Kenya looks for every excuse to come after Portia. And, I love Kenya, but I really, really am disappointed in the way she has spoken about Portia this season, about Portia's activism, because
Yeah.
Portia has come leaps and bounds from her days of not knowing about the Underground Railroad. And I'm really not saying that as a joke. I think she has learned so much, and Black Lives Matter is so, so important to her. What happened to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, especially, are so important to her. She has come so far, and I don't see somebody who is just saying this is important to them. I see somebody who's like showing me this is important to them. This means everything to Portia, and I'm super proud of her.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I am definitely Team Portia on this feud.
Yeah, I am too. And I love her.
And I
I
love
love Kenya
Kenya.
more than
Yeah.
Portia, and I am Team Portia on this.
And then we had some more like Drew and Kenya feud, and we had Latoya come in at the end calling Drew SpongeBob.
That was funny.
That was funny. And I thought Latoya looked good. I was just surprised they brought her on because she was sick. And like with COVID, like even if someone's like sick and it's not like COVID, I feel like we're like more cautious now.
I know. I was like, also, I wish I looked that good when I was sick.
Exactly. That's why I was like not even like buying it.
Totally.
But yeah, I thought Latoya looked great. It'll probably be the last time that we see her, but she looked good.
Unfortunately. Is there anything else we want to cover before we go into Below Deck?
No, I'm good to go into Below Deck.
So now that we are wrapped up talking about Atlanta, we are going to head into Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I personally thought that these last two episodes were really, really good. They were like jam packed with like drama and all these different things going on. And that being said, I love that COVID doesn't affect this show very much. Like, I feel like it still has a great flow, dynamics, and it's not hindered by a lot of the restrictions that COVID puts on production that we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, because they're all still able to like take the boat out. I mean, the only thing that's hindered is them going out. But as we saw on this episode, they actually did go out for dinner. They actually went off the boat for the first time and did like a dinner. So at the dinner, Danny specifically was getting upset that the smokers were going to smoke and gossip and chat. I kind of thought that Danny was being a little hypersensitive to it, but I don't know what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I agree. I thought like the everyone getting so put out over them going on a smoke break, like they acted like the night couldn't go on, nor could conversations continue without Daisy and them being there for the without them being on the smoke break.
Yeah.
They acted like they were essential for social interactions. Like there was still 4 people at that table. You can still have a normal conversation and just like pick up and talk about something else when everyone comes back from their smoke break. It was unnecessary drama. And like I'm friends with plenty of people that are smokers. Like you don't have to sit and wait for them to come back to like continue your night.
Yeah, and I think maybe the timing was off of it because I think they're getting ready to eat, but then they went to do the smoke break. But then, like, for Danny to walk off, I thought that was like so ridiculous.
Yeah, and I would just be like, I'm eating my dinner. Sorry, you want to take your smoke break, and that's fine, but my
Yeah,
food's here and I'm eating it while it's hot.
exactly. And I don't think that the smokers would have had an issue with that either.
No, because they're making the conscious decision to step away from the table to have a smoke.
So I thought that was really annoying of Danny.
Me too. And Danny, speaking of her, she is pregnant.
Yeah. And she hasn't like said who the father is, and people have asked her if it's JL, and she's like kind of ignored the question. So I don't know. Maybe we need
Do
to.
you think there's like an actual chance he's the father?
I don't know, honestly. My guess is probably not because it just kind of seems like a boat fling, but
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was. Like I was like, "Oh, no chance," until she is answering the question.
yeah,
And they
she's
have
ignoring
chemistry.
it.
Like I really didn't think they would have any chemistry, but they do.
Yeah, they don't seem like I wouldn't pick them out for each other at all.
And
But
Jamel's really cute. I just think he has a boring personality.
yeah, he's so bland to me, and like Danny just seems Danny's like gorgeous, and I feel like she has a really good personality. So that's why I'm just like I feel like she could do better, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a good guy.
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
just is using him as a circumstantial hookup.
Yeah, for sure.
And we got the mid-season trailer, which it was awesome. Like it just looks like the season started strong, it continued strong, and it's going to finish strong.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're only like to the mid-season trailer though, but because this started before Jersey.
Did it?
Oh wait, no, it started after. Sorry, my bad. It started like 2 weeks after Jersey, but it feels like it's gonna be a way longer season.
I know. I think
Because
it's
they cut
because
Jersey short.
I think Jersey is shorter, but I also think we're just more excited for Jersey than we are Below Deck.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But it's been nice to kind of venture out into a show that we wouldn't normally watch.
it's all thanks to me being on Watch What Happens Live. Like I had
Mhm.
no interest for the most part in any of the Below Deck shows. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad that being in the virtual audience got me to watch the shows, and it actually legit hooked me on that because I'm really really enjoying this season of Below Deck Sailing Out. I've obviously been keeping up with it, and then on top of that I watched the first season of Below Deck Mediterranean and some of the other seasons of Below Deck,
Yeah.
the original one.
And me doing the cooking class kind of prompted me to get back into it as well. So
Yeah, I'm so jealous of that. That seems so cool.
yeah. Well, do we want to get into Dallas now?
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to be transitioning from a nice, beautiful yacht to a destroyed museum in Dallas.
I love that. Yes. I really thought it was messed up, whether it is like a really famous museum or not. That room was blocked off for a reason. That plexiglass was there for a reason. And I thought it was so outrageous that these grown women with children would get that drunk to destroy property like that.
Yeah, I thought that was.
It was a bit
I
much.
mean, when I'm drunk, I do like I thought like okay, I would probably sneak in, but I wouldn't have like done the glass thing. Like
Yeah,
drunk
and
me
then
probably
she
would have
she
done what.
would have like a not terrified. Carrie didn't have like a, oh my God, what did I do reaction. She had a, I'm laughing so hard, I'm about to pee my pants
Yeah.
reaction. Because let me
I
tell you, if I was drunk and I shattered glass like that, I wouldn't be laughing. I would be like, oh my God, what have I done?
yeah, I probably would have laughed for a second and then been like, oh shit. But when watching it happen, I was like, okay, she wasn't trying to like pull the glass down. She was just trying to get her balance to get down. So I guess it wasn't as like destructive as I originally thought it was, but it was still bad.
Oh, I thought it just looked so destructive. And I thought the like manager of the property who they called gave them a major free pass.
Yeah. Well, also like her like property is like being featured on like a show, so I'm sure she might get some more like business from it. So I'm sure she's like not going to be
That's
a bitch
true.
about it. But I mean, it's still rude and hopefully they paid for it.
Yeah, I hope so too. And then we had this murder mystery party that like the husbands were all a part
Yeah.
of. Clearly this is like a trend amongst the housewives having these
Especially
parties.
on Dallas. They do, and like I said before, Dallas is so gimmicky where they've done this like probably 3 times now. They've done like the little escape rooms, they've done destroying things, they do like relay. I mean, it's always a gimmick like thing like this with Dallas, and I'm just so over it. And they've done it on other housewives too, but it's like always on Dallas and it annoys me.
That's true, actually, that they always have to have like something set up
Yeah.
for
It's
them
like
to hang out.
like they're not interesting enough to just like do some like just
Yeah,
to
they
hang
can't
out.
just have like a fluid girls' night that'll like turn into something on its own. They have to like have something set up.
Yeah, otherwise there's like no show. So, and I just thought that like from last episode, it's like, oh, we're going on another trip. And I'm like, they've done like 4 trips this season. Like, is this season ever gonna end?
Yeah, this season felt really, really drawn out. Like by the time it was the finale, I was like, oh my God, really? Finally?
Yeah. And there's like not even any drama besides Carrie just being destructive.
Yeah, it Carrie was like all of the drama and not in a good way.
Yeah, and I think now we're kind of with the reunion trailer, we're kind of seeing that her behavior is because I think that she's having marital issues. They might be getting a divorce. That's to be determined from the reunion, but and she did talk about it with was it Deandra in the bathroom? Who was she in the bathroom with? And she was talking about her marriage and like
I think it was
apologizing.
Brandy. Oh, no,
Brandy.
no, you're right. It was Deandra, actually.
Was it Deandra? Yeah.
Right, it was Deandra.
So I mean, I don't think that excuses her behavior, but I think that kind of explains what.
Yeah, she's like, this will be her now second failed marriage if this doesn't work out, because that's what I think her announcement's going to be at the reunion, is because they showed Andy asking her something really serious about her and Eduardo, and then it just shows her crying. It obviously doesn't give us an answer. But I mean, I think we're going to get a divorce announcement personally. Either
Yeah.
that or she's just going to give us like a, oh, things aren't good, but we're working on it, which would
Yeah.
be just what we've heard since she joined the show.
I mean, they could have edited it that way, but like since she got on the show, her whole thing was like, "Oh, I need to make my own money." And it was like, "Okay, so you're obviously not happy." And like so I feel like she's been trying to do this stupid jewelry business so that she doesn't have to rely on Eduardo and she can ultimately divorce him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
She's just has never seemed happy with him in the time
Yeah.
that we've seen her on Dallas.
Oh, for sure. No. And
And speaking oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, then we saw Carrie push she pushed Deandra in the pool after like pushing Tiffany in the pool before, and I
What
just
is
thought,
her obsession with pushing people in pools? I
I
don't
know
get it. And
she's
like when
out of control.
Deandra was breaking it down, she was like, I was wearing this, this, and this. And it's like, no, a lot of those things aren't meant to be wet, much less be wet with chlorine on them.
I think it would be different if they were like all in bathing suits and stuff, but
Yeah, totally. I even consider myself pretty easygoing. If someone like shoved me in a pool fully clothed, like full hair and makeup and everything, I'd be like, really?
yeah, I'd be pissed about that. If it was like a close friend that knew me and we were like in bathing suits and like I would be fine. But I think both circumstances were wrong because she didn't really know Tiffany that well to like be pushing her in the
Yeah.
pool. And
Like
then like Deandra to be fully clothed. I don't know.
Carrie's terrible at reading the room. Like all the situations where she's decided to push people in the pool are completely inappropriate and just like it doesn't match with the vibe that's going on.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So,
I
what
don't
do we
know.
think about the reunion? We know, like, speaking of Carrie, she's going to be remote. Like, it's like her screen is like sitting on a chair at the reunion. Same with Brandy, because apparently Carrie tested positive for COVID, and Brandy sat with her uh,
Yeah.
on the plane, like right next to her.
Yeah, it looks really underwhelming, especially with them being remote. It just looks so weird. Like worse than the virtual reunions for sure. Cause it's
I
like the
know. And just the fact that they like propped up the TVs on the seats, it just
and
feels like
Brandy's
such.
fake. He has no ring light. It just looks bad.
It's bad. And but however, we did see in the previews that they're going to be bringing up the Brandy and her husband Brian's cheating rumors, like the footage that like showed up of him and with this girl in a club kissing her obviously, and it very much is not Brandy. And it in the trailer it showed that Andy is going to be bringing this up to her.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that. I mean, I'm not interested in Brandy, but I'm interested to see like where her relationship is and like if she's gonna be leaving the show. I just need like an update and then I can be done with her.
Yeah, yeah, give us the update and then give her the goodbye.
Or the whole show honestly could just go.
And we did learn that this finale is going to be two parts. And as we have talked about
Reunion.
before, when a franchise is demoted to a two-part reunion, that is not a good sign that it's going to be renewed for another season.
However, I just learned that the Jersey reunion is gonna be 2 parts as well.
Well, there's no way they're going to cancel Jersey, though.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
might have
But I know what you
I
mean.
agree statement.
I'm actually okay with them. Like if like let's normalize not dragging on a 3-part reunion if it doesn't need 3 parts. It could still be a good season, but like I feel like sometimes I get bored with the reunion because it's so many parts. Like some of them I think should have 3 parts, but sometimes I don't think it's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So
is true.
especially with Dallas and OC. I think Jersey, I mean, the Jackie and Teresa stuff, but like there wasn't really that much like
Yeah, it's not
big
enough for it to
drama.
get like its own episode. So
Yeah,
that is true.
just like Melissa and Joe stuff. Like there's just not enough for 3 parts also. And they cut the season really short. It's only like 14 episodes or something.
Yeah, this season did feel much shorter.
It's already the finale is already 2 weeks away, 2 episodes
Um,
away.
well, so on that note, should we just dive into this episode
Yeah,
of Jersey?
yeah. Because so this last episode of Jersey was episode 11, and episode 13 is the finale. And I feel like we never have that. Even Dallas was a longer season. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's like a really, really short season, especially like for a Real Housewives show that's been going on for this long. Like, especially me watching, excuse me, rewatching Atlanta, the seasons are at least 20 episodes long, and that doesn't even include the reunion episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Atlanta's always like 24 episodes.
Yeah, so I don't understand their logic with this. Like this season, it, the drama, it just doesn't feel like that it's been such a short amount of or such a small amount of drama that we can't get a longer season.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it maybe it's something to do with it has a different production company. I don't know because Jersey always is like quite a few episodes shorter than the other cities.
Yeah, I have no clue why that could be. But
But
I felt bad for Teresa, like watching the Turkish tea, everybody being there with their moms. I felt really bad for Teresa. Like that has to be really shitty seeing all of your friends there with their moms and like you don't have your mom there with you. So I
yeah,
felt bad for her for sure with that.
especially every single one of them had their moms. Like she was the only one. And like I know Melissa's like, oh, I thought my mom, but like it's never the same.
Totally. But I thought like the silver lining though, I thought Jennifer's Turkish tea looked really, really lovely. And I thought it was nice for her mom to get to talk to Jackie's mom to just be like, stop caring so much what everyone thinks about your marriage. Like
Yeah,
no one cares. No one cares.
I really liked what Jackie's mom said too. It's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Jennifer's mom, she just like I feel like it's ingrained in her to care about what other people think, but people don't care what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it is like how she was raised too. It's like a judgier culture and
So, I mean, the fact that it's still like, at least from what Jennifer said, my interpretation is that it still seems to be very taboo to get divorced in her culture.
or even now like just living apart is taboo.
Yeah. I just don't get why like people care so much.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you'd think they would care about her getting married at 16 to a 26-year-old. You'd think they would care about the like what people think about that. They care about everything else people think.
I know. It feels like their priorities are very off.
Yeah, I just think making a 16-year-old get married to a 26-year-old is it's cruel. I mean, when I just think about when I was 16, do you think I was married, ready to get married and then have a child? No. Hell
And
no.
also not just like get married, but like you can't really get divorced because it's so frowned upon too.
Yeah,
You're
it's
stuck
it's
with that
so
person.
unfair to make people live a life they don't want to live.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for Jennifer's mom that she got to like have another point of view from someone other than Jennifer. But
Yeah.
I just want to say, Joe Gorga, I have never like lost so much respect for him as I did in this episode.
I thought the thing was like I have said this before, but I feel like some of the Bravo fans like really overrate the husbands. Like I don't care about them that much. I think their scenes are fine, but like people are like, "Oh, they need their own show." And I'm like, "No.
No,
I'm good with like the little cameos that they have. I do not need a whole show of them."
like when he was saying that Dolores is a broken woman, do I think he was saying that to be mean? No. Did it come across that he's a complete ass? Yes. Like I really I could not believe he would say that about her in front of everybody and humiliate her in that way.
And your girl Melissa just let him say it. She didn't say anything, and then she
Yeah.
continued to gang up on Dolores after Joe called her a broken woman. Then she continued to say shit to Dolores. So that's your girl Melissa. So
Yeah, I can't stand up for Melissa. She just like stood there not standing up for her friend, letting her husband say these like really
yeah,
disgusting misogynistic things to Dolores.
exactly. That was she just was like okay with it. Like I thought that was gross.
Yeah, the whole
But
scene, like the whole episode was pretty vanilla and basic and boring for the most part, up until like the very last like 5, 6 minutes.
and then like we were constantly seeing the stupid Frank kissing Joe's ass, and I thought that was so annoying. Like, okay, it
Saw that
was
like a
funny,
thousand times.
but they kept showing the clip and kept talking about it. I'm like, it's not that entertaining. I could see it once and I'm good.
I know, and they showed it at least 4 or 5 times throughout the episode, and it was like basically got its own storyline.
I know, it was so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't care. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about the husbands that much. It's not that entertaining.
yeah, like the husbands like don't need that much of an edit to get the
And
same scene showed that many times in a
and
row.
I keep seeing people say, "Oh, the best part of the episodes is seeing the husbands," and like, I don't know. I just
Yeah, it's
totally
like to an
disagree.
extent they're
Yeah,
entertaining for sure.
I like that, Jersey is more family. Like, I love that we saw all the moms together. I like seeing the husband stuff, and I like that the husbands interact. I just don't need to see like the husbands that much.
Totally. Not on repeat.
Yeah, I was totally team Dolores here. I just feel like people need to mind their own business with her relationship.
Yeah.
Like, good for her, she got a car. That doesn't mean she can't get a ring. Like, maybe she wanted a ring before that, but like, hey, she got a car, so I'm sure she's not complaining.
Yeah.
Like, I would be fine.
I also like before we wrap up Jersey, I really liked hearing Marge read her story from her book and read it aloud.
Yeah.
And I thought it also was really important that she did that because it made Jennifer apologize. And I like that Jennifer really knows how to own it.
Yeah.
She
I
really was like, wow, I interpreted it completely different when you said it the first time. And now hearing it, I realize I was wrong and I'm sorry. Like, it's so basic, but Jennifer is one of the few housewives that can do that.
yeah, I thought like her apology was really sincere. I think she originally just thought like Marge was just kind of being a hoe, but I think she realized that her boss was like in a position of power and it
Yeah.
was a different dynamic than what she was originally thinking it was. So,
Yeah. So I give Jennifer major kudos for admitting she was wrong and owning it in a really classy way.
yeah.
So that is it for this week of The Word on the Street Is. Please be sure to follow our Instagram at The Word on the Street Is underscore podcast, where we're always posting about the most recent Bravo news and all types of different fun Bravo content. So thank you so much, and we will see you again next week.